At Capella University, you can learn at your own pace with our FlexPath learning format. Take 1 or 2 courses at a time and complete as many as you can in a 12-week billing session. With FlexPath, you can even finish the bachelor's degree you started in 22 months for $20,000. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu. Fastest 25% of students. Cost varies by pace, transfer credits, and other factors. Fees apply.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I'm the founder of the Food Truck Training Group on Facebook, co-owner with my beautiful wife, Melissa, of our own food truck. It's called Food Truck 101, and I'm the executive director of the National Street Food Vendors Association, which is a nonprofit dedicated to education, advocacy, and uplifting all food vendors. Today will be the conclusion of the interview with Alycia Johnson. She's the owner of Sweet Cravings Donuts, and she has an interesting story. You guys got to stick around and listen to it. Today, we are talking about how she feels if it's not right, she's going to be able to fix it. I'm just curious, how long have you been in our Facebook group?
Since I started my food truck, so since I want to say 2023, a little bit, maybe around March of 2023, I want to say.
2 years-ish?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. Because I try to pay attention to people. Usually it's the negative ones that I pay attention to the most, the ones that create problems.
Well, you have to get them out.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that I don't know your name means you've been a model member of our group, which I appreciate, and thank you so much for that.
No, I'd definitely like to say thank you for creating that group, because you can never have too many resources. Yeah, I can go to Google and search for a lot of different topics or items, but having that group allows me to be amongst my peers. Even though you guys are in different states, you know the experience. So I am like a sponge. I like to learn. I like to see what may work for someone and see how it can work for me, but put my own twist to it. That way I can provide feedback as well. I am very quiet in the group. I would say I don't post too much is because I'm not posting because I want to test it to make sure before I actually post it. So if I post it, it's legit.
Your post that you discussed the vending machine on ended up being the most popular post that week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember because I actually put it up last night because we do a top, we call it top 5, but it's a leaderboard basically. The top 5 people that make posts, the top 5 people that comment on posts, and then the top 5 people that give some type of reaction, the like or thumbs up or the heart. And then we also look at just the posts that got the most attention, so the most views, and then interactions. Your post had 10,815 views in 7 days, less than 7 days, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because typically within a week, it's usually 5,000 to 7,000. So you were very popular because you brought up something that we just don't talk about. And that, again, being vending machines, expanding the business. Most people, when they talk about expansion, go from 1 truck to 2.
I thought about it. I said I didn't want to have the overhead as far as getting another truck, having to train employees to operate to mimic exactly what 1 truck does. Right. I just didn't want to deal with that. It's not a headache for me. It is time consuming. So like I said, I wanted to create an avenue of passive income where I don't have to put too much maintenance in it, and I can go to sleep at night instead of worrying about, did I leave that fryer on? Let me double check.
Yeah, we all have those nightmares.
Yeah.
Melissa and I, our complete background is food service. So there's times, and Melissa and I have worked for the same companies many times. So there's times when she would go to sleep, and she is a very restless sleeper. And then she'll wake up, sit up in the bed, and yell at me for not turning off a timer.
Oh, goodness.
Like, honey, we're asleep. There's no timers running, I promise. And she's done that many times. Or she'll reach over and push me, turn that timer off. Honey, you're dreaming. There are no timers, I promise.
We should do a Lifetime movie, Surviving Food Trucks.
Surviving a food truck, that's right. That is right. And there are some movies that do that, but they're so filled with nonsense. And people think, oh, my God, that's awesome. It's not how life works. They're entertaining you. That's not how life works. Certainly not how crowds work either. All right, so one thing we haven't talked about on those vending machines, and I know this varies from state to state because I know Florida has some really weird laws on vending machines. What have you had to deal with as far as the legal side of getting your vending machine set up?
Well, nothing. Because my business is already incorporated. I have a business license, business insurance already. So it's just another equipment that's part of the business. And to put it on the university that I went to, they didn't require anything additional. All I
Right.
had to do was sign my contract.
Really, I think the only thing you would need as far as the university would go is that you have some type of liability insurance.
Correct. You have
Yeah.
to have, and I mean, every business should already, have that
Right.
insurance, and that's something we already had. That's why I advised we didn't have to do anything additional.
I would advise someone to definitely check with their state because in Florida, for example, you actually have to have a sticker on there that identifies who the owner is and a way to contact the owner if there's an issue with the money, for example.
Okay, so I didn't know that, but I will say this: I have it already on there, and I did it just because.
Which is smart, very smart. One of the people I worked with many years ago at Hardee's, he had the little gumball machines. So it's still a vending machine. And he
Mhm.
had one in each of the restaurants. And he had to have that little sticker on there. And he also had to pay sales tax too. State of
Yeah,
Florida is really weird about sales tax.
oh, Louisiana as well. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is when you're having to replace the food every 2 days, you won't mind paying that sales tax.
You know what? You bring up a good point with that. So I'll be all right.
You will be just fine. So tell me what the prices are. If I was to step up to your machine, what am I going to see? And then how much do the different things cost?
So with the machine at the top, we have our gourmet donut, which is the same price if you were to come to the food truck. The middle row has our milk chocolate, which is $2. And then the third row has our glaze, because on campus, that's what we're selling the most of, glaze, which is $2. The two bottom rows are our bottled iced coffee or chill coffee, like you like to say it, which
Right.
comes, they're $4. It comes in caramel, mocha, white chocolate mocha, vanilla. We have sugar-free caramel macchiato, sugar-free mocha, and then I like to do a seasonal. So our seasonal right now that we have is wedding cake.
And how much for those?
Those are $4.
And the size of the bottle?
It is a 12 ounce.
Oh, that's okay. Still a real good price, though. Because most people don't realize if you get an iced coffee, typically you're only getting 8 or 9 ounces of coffee and then the rest of it's ice.
Yep. And we would like to sell something with espresso because we sell the espresso on our truck. So
Mhm.
I would like to look into manufacturing or seeing how I can get some espresso made and packet. That way they can buy that as well to put into their coffee and just shake it and go.
It's a neat
So
idea.
someone else can probably do that idea, just putting it out there.
There you go. That's right. So the machine itself, I'm trying to envision the donuts. How are they packaged?
It is in a heat seal square packaging. It has our donut logo on there with the label that says heat and eat and the type of donut it is, which is glazed cookies and cream or milk
Right.
chocolate. Once you pay for the item, the elevator belt comes up, grabs the item, dispenses it to the drawer that you pull it from. And then I actually have a shelf that's built on the side of the vending machine, which has our built-in microwave so that they can heat it to the temperature that we recommend between 8 to 10 seconds.
Such a neat idea. Such a neat idea.
Thank you.
Do you think there's a possibility for you at some point to be able to do the sandwiches that you sell on the truck? Or do you think that's going to be too complicated?
Oh, yes, we've already tested that. So down here in the South, we like to eat beignets, which is almost like a funnel cake. So
Right.
I've already tested that. I didn't want to put too much at once inside of the machine. So the next thing that we're going to launch inside of the machine would be our beignets with the powdered sugar. And then we also will have our sandwiches. I'm not sure if I want to do the donut sandwich or if I would probably just do the sausage biscuit. I may test that instead. So I'm not sure which sandwich, but it will be in there.
I think the sausage biscuit would probably hold better.
Yeah.
Well, certainly when it goes to be reheated, it'll be a much better product. Eggs are really very finicky.
Yeah, you do make up a good point about that.
To go from hot, you got to cool them back off, and then you got to reheat them. So they're not going to be the same texture. And you sound like the kind of person that's going to be looking at the quality, and you won't be pleased with the quality.
Yes, I am that type of person, and I am that business owner. When it comes to our quality, I'm very specific. I don't allow anything to slide and say, "Oh, it'll be okay." No, if it's not right, we're gonna fix it.
Yeah, the first time that you start to say it'll be okay, you're also saying it's going to be okay for your bank account not to be as big as you want it to be.
Right. because the goal is not to just deposit money, is to also be able to sign a check. You want to be able to get to that level is what I look at for me. I want to be able to walk into a room where I no longer have to introduce myself. So that's the goals that I'm working towards. And then having these vending machines creating passive income to where we can put it at different locations, around the United States, or have franchises. That way we can set up royalties and have trust funds that'll be able to go to my son, or if I have additional kids in the future, be able to have that to my parents. And you have to take care of your mental health as well. We stress ourselves out. We don't know how we do it every day, but we get up and we do it. But you have to be able to balance that work life, your personal life. So you have to have a support team. Never say, I can always do it by myself. You're going to get burnt out. I've been there. I've done that. I don't like the feeling. So having my support system, letting people know I'm not okay today. This is what you could do to help me to relieve some stress or anything like that. Talk to me about something. Do it. Never be afraid to act. Because if they tell you no, just go ask somebody else.
Exactly. That's great advice. I'm glad you brought that up. What I tell folks is wherever you're at, be 100% there. So if you're on the food truck, you got to be 100% there. Typically, people, when they're one place, their mind is somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, did I turn the fryer off? Probably aren't at the food truck when you're thinking that.
Not at all.
And it's the same no matter what job you have, whether you're a banker or whatever you are doing. You get to the job and you start to think about, well, I got to pick up my kid from school today. I've got to make dinner. I've got to do something, but you're not doing the task. So I tell people, be 100% in your life wherever you're at. So if you're on the food truck, you're 100% there. You got the energy level up. You're talking to people and you're doing food truck things. Then when you're home, food truck is gone. You are now at home. You are being, the father, the mother, the sister, whatever you are, you're being that person 100% of the time. You're not thinking about, I got to make a food truck order and I got to go in early tomorrow to prep because we sold out a bunch of stuff. Do not think that. Take care of the family, because at some point they're going to grow up and be gone and you're going to wish that they were still around.
Yeah, absolutely.
So be 100% wherever your body is, your mind needs to be there too. Then, like you said, if you need to take that break and tell somebody, then tell somebody.
Yes, please take care of your mental health.
100%.
Mine is a terrible thing to waste. Or to lose.
It is. Either way, waste it or lose it. You don't want to do either. I appreciate you being here today, sharing your story with us. You're going to be super successful. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to stalk you because you're amazing and people need to know more about you.
I will update in the group more.
Definitely, because there's going to be a whole bunch of people wanting to know about those vending machines. So again, thank you for your time, and I hope I can talk to you again real soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful, please consider subscribing. And if you really love what we do, show some support. There's a link in the description to make that happen. Until next time, you guys have a profitable day.